Good morning, everyone. Hi, this is Angela Jordan Perry, and I am your girlfriend with Girlfriends' Guide to Homeschooling. And here we are. We're on another day, part 2 of our subject that we started on yesterday. And so I'm going to tell you, first of all, who I am. Again, Angela Jordan Perry, homeschool mom of 8 children. I'm joining you here live on Facebook Live and on my YouTube channel live. All right. So we are small farmers in the upstate area of South Carolina by way of Virginia. We're originally from Virginia. And let's see, what else can I say? I'm married almost 25 years here in July. I'm a director and administrator of a homeschool academy, and also in South Carolina, an Option 3 Accountability Association. So the purpose of Girlfriend's Guide to Homeschool is to connect with girlfriends all over the globe who are homeschooling, to talk about issues and concerns and things are beneficial topics that will help us to homeschool better and face some challenges together over our cup of coffee. So if you're joining me in other parts of the world, it's later, maybe you're not at coffee, maybe you're tea time or water, I don't know. But anyway, so today we're going to continue on our topic of racist homeschooling part 2. Today's topic is racist and segregated co-ops and academies. No, thank you. Okay, that's what we're going to talk about today. And I'm going to just tell you the truth. I'm talking on this subject from a place that is personal to me. And you know what I'm learning is that the more you don't talk about these subjects or type of subjects that can tend to be touchy and well, I won't say they're really touchy and just in your face, and it brings up some accountability to what people are doing and how they're living and how they're treating other people. And when you bring that up, it stirs the pot, of course. And sometimes the pot needs to be stirred up so you can mix up all the flavors and get just right how it needs to be. And stirring it up doesn't always mean a bad thing. It definitely can mean a good thing. And so after being here in this state for now 12 years come September, and having to deal with this subject of racism or segregation in homeschool, not even just in the church, but in homeschooling, it's time for us to talk about it. Okay, so we're going to go there today. So here we are, racist homeschooling part 2, racist and segregated co-ops and academies. No, thank you. All right, so if you have some comments you want to add to this conversation, hey, jump on with me, give me your thoughts, your comments. I will respond to them. This is not meant to be a very long video today as it was yesterday. I didn't mean for it to be that long. So just jump in. Let's talk about it. Give me some comments and some thoughts. I'm going to tell you that this is a hot topic for sure. I can't even tell you how many people contacted me, wanted to know about it, had some situations to share with me that they've walked through as their homeschoolers and dealing with racist. We tend to often think about it being and I don't even like using these words, but a black and white issue. And it's not. African American to Caucasian or Jamaican. So brown skinned people is what I say. It's just not that. So I had Arabics, Hispanics, people from UK who are brown skinned, different people, even Africans who contacted me with their thoughts and said, this is a great subject to dive into as we're homeschoolers, and it's here. And my motto is that we often deal with it and just keep on moving, keep on moving, and just let it be like water on our back and roll off and keep on going. So when my family now first moved to South Carolina, one of the things that I don't even know how we found out about this particular co-op, we wanted to dive in to get connected to other homeschool families. Okay. And so we went with this one particular co-op, and needless to say, we were the only brown skinned family there. And I can tell you how many I can't even tell you how many people have said they're the only brown skin. And so after a while, I'd be quite honest with you, okay, years, I'm going to jump around on here, but on timetable wise, but years of dealing with being the only, it just gets tiring. And I think, honestly, for us here in South Carolina, maybe in this area, most of the brown skin people just kind of hid away, did their own things and just stayed secluded. And why put the effort there? Because it's work. It's work. To try and integrate into a place that you really don't know if you're welcomed or if you're tolerated. And that's the big terminology that's there is, oftentimes you just feel tolerated. Now, if you're on my Facebook Live and it's skipping or jumping, or you just can't catch what I'm saying, go ahead and jump over to the YouTube channel where I'm live. That tends to flow and stream just fine. And it's Girlfriends' Guide to Homeschooling right here on the YouTube channel, and I'm live there. And often I see your chats, and you can chat with me on this site too. Okay, so for brown skinned people or for Arabic or Hispanics, who would tend to be the minority here in this area anyway, it's work to choose to integrate, and but many of us say we're going to do that. And so if you're in your part of the world and this is your issue or concern, and you're like, okay, what do I do? What do we do? So what has often happened, and this is the case of, I say, my brother who is homeschooling, and I hope you don't mind me putting him out there. So let me know, Junie, if you do. But, what often happens is that we end up starting our own thing, whether you're brown skin, whether you're, Hispanic, you're Asian, you start your own thing instead of working to integrate. And as my dear sister-in-law said, she's just tired of trying to put the effort in there. And I wonder how many of you who are viewing this are tired of putting the effort in there. And just say, okay, so let me back up and first just quickly define where I'm coming from on racism and what the terminology is. Because if we don't have the same basis of understanding what racism is, we understand segregation. That's, you're segregating, separating yourself. But the idea of racism is having this superior mindset over other races. You're better than other people other than your own race. And I can't even tell you, and then also you just choose, you have no desire to build relationships, be intermingled or connected with those of other races. You just don't care to. Now, I have been on the side too in this homeschooling sphere where I'm thinking of a family in particular where they really wanted to connect. And I give them kudos because we started to, but just getting over this superiority complex mindset just overtook them. And from the scripture that I understand, what the abundance of the heart, from the abundance of the heart, the mouth speak. And so what was really there ended up spewing out. Now, over time, little spews were coming out, and it's just like, okay, I'm going to just deal with it, and we're going to keep working on this. We're going to keep working on this, keep working on this. And we did over years. This is just one case scenario for me in the homeschooling sphere. And then finally, boom, it all came out. She let me know it. She let my other brown skin friends know about it. And I just couldn't hold my peace anymore. And I did not address her racist attitude, but I addressed her superiority. I guess I did in essence. I didn't call it out for what it was. I just said, hey, I had enough of this. I cannot deal with it. I'm done and over. And this is homeschooling. So, when it comes to homeschooling, it's not that, in my mindset that, we're supposed to be perfect and everything is wonderful. I just think we're on the same playing field. So let's connect on as many levels as we can for the sake of our kids. And if we're not teaching our children how to intermingle and not making it purposeful to do that, then we are fueling this racist mindset at large. So, you're starting your smaller spheres, I think, in your communities, in your churches, your neighborhoods, homeschooling, on the job, and it ripples effect outwardly. And so I want to bring attention to this. So I just wonder if you can chime in and give me your thoughts on this subject. But for racism and segregation to even happen in co-ops and in homeschool co-ops and homeschool academy, it's just, again, it's huge. It happens. And so back up to my conversation. When we first moved here, we started with a homeschool co-op, and we were the only family. And for many, I mean, we would say hi or how are you doing, only to get nothing. I mean, isn't that just rude? Just not even to get acknowledged. Happened that a lot. All right, so then I became a Spanish teacher. I speak Spanish. We lived in Spain for 3 years, and I was a missionary to El Salvador, Honduras, and Guatemala. And so I speak Spanish. It's really rusty now, but at that time I was teaching a class. And if you ever want to know if someone is racist or not, either, teach class, head up something as far as leading the academy like I do now, or anything, be in charge of something. And you would quickly find out who really thinks that you are capable of doing something just from their superior attitude. And what I want to say and address to this, I can go on with story and just say, and just fill your ears with that from my perspective. But the point is that I just want to bring attention to it. Stop it. It's enough, right? So no matter where you are and what part of the world you are, if you're in a homeschool co-op or academy and you see the segregation, even in my own homeschool academy, let me speak to that. I have a homeschool academy. People will call it a co-op. We meet once a day, but we're uniform, and it's a STEAM-focused academy. And even as we have lunch together, I just look and see there's maybe 3-4 families now who are brown skinned there, and I want more and more, and more Hispanics and more, Asian. I wanted to be culturally diverse. That is my vision, and that's my heartbeat, and that's my dream. And will that happen in this little area? I don't know, but I have faith for it. And I notice how many who don't cross over and connect. Something happens when you sit down and have a meal together with someone of a different race, someone who's different than you. Taking that time to connect, break some barriers. It's a difference when you are intermingling with someone else of a different race in classes. And I try and mix even races together in classes, whoever's going to be the classroom guy, who's going to be the assistant. I purposely do that. And so I let that cat out the bag for my academy people to know that, because my heartbeat is to be a bridge builder, building a bridge between the races, between our differences, and those who cannot take it. This is enough. I can't stand it. They do leave. They may think it's one thing, but it's really another. And it only takes a moment for a brown skinned person or someone of a different race of that person to be able to sniff it out and say, I got it. So I want to bring awareness to this. Those of you who head up your co-ops and your academies, if it's not well diverse, just like maybe a church, you got to put some effort into it. Either, put out there, just make it be plain. We're looking for brown skinned people. Talk to those families there and say, hey, this is just too lily white, or this is too brownie brown. We need to do something about it. And maybe staying segregated does keep peace. It keeps a sense of peace, but we're showing and teaching our children many things through our segregation. And that's what is a stench. We perpetuate this stench and this huge racist mountain that exists. If I don't invite other families into my homeschool academy and to my association and to our lives and to my children's lives, I'm really teaching them that we do keep our separation. Yeah, it's hard, it's challenging, but it can be done. And so my challenge to you, girlfriends, is to look around and make it happen. Don't be colorblind. You hear people say, oh, I don't see color when we get together. Okay, then you're full of it, because I see color. soon as I see someone, I see color, I see the difference. And seeing a difference doesn't mean that it's wrong. It just means I identify that we are different, but that difference doesn't make me not want to connect with you. And I don't have to say, oh, I don't see a difference. Oh, I don't see color. Oh, I don't see your hair is kinky. Oh, this is my hair, but I don't see it kinky. Give me a break. You do. Let's just identify it and move on. And and this is what I want to talk about. So I look forward to hearing your comments and your thoughts. I mean, man, I could go on and on and on on this subject. And again, it's just not a black and white issue. We're talking about all sorts of segregation that happens. If there's a religious reason for segregation, okay, but you know, sometimes that could be a little bit more trickier. But for the whole of the races, you know, just because someone looks different than you choose not to connect with them, or because you have already drawn this picture in your mind of what that race probably is like, and so all of you are part of that race, so then all of you are like that, which you build up in your mind. You know, I never will forget when a light-skinned person came up to my husband. We were selling our house, and he walked through our home, and my husband was talking, and he looked up at him and says, wow, you are so articulate. And my husband and I, you know, later we were like, what are you talking about? We're so articulate. Well, in his mind, in his sphere of life, he had his own idea of what probably brown-skinned people are like and how they talk and how they, all of that kind of stuff. So you all get what I'm saying. So as homeschoolers, let's not, you know, let's start squashing this racist homeschooling, because it's there. And oftentimes it's very purposeful. We don't connect with those types of people who are different than us. And we are better than these types of people. And we'll let them know in so many uncertain terms. And it just should not be. So racist homeschooling part 2, racist and segregation in our co-ops and our academies. No, thank you is our topic. And I will probably do a blog post on this later and just give more thoughts to it. It's just a stench, and I'm over it, and it's time to move on. And let's get a life, people, in our homeschool community. All right, so thanks for joining me. I'm Angela Jordan Perry. You can send me email at gg2 homeschooling@gmail.com. You can certainly comment on my Facebook live post here, and you can certainly bring me some comments on Google Hangouts or by way of YouTube. And also go to the Girlfriends' Guide to Homeschooling Facebook page. If you have something contrary to say, hey, let's hear it. It's fine. We can handle it. Been handling it forever. So let's handle that. And if you are questionable, if you are the racist, segregated person who's stirring all that up and you want to make change about it, let's dialogue about that and throw out some ideas for that. I am constantly at work trying to make a change in my own academy. And by golly, I'm going to do it. It's going to happen. And I'm not, I just want to see it not segregated. Here, in this little group here. We need to branch out and connect on all levels. So anyway, thanks for joining me. I have a field trip to get to with my kiddos. And so we're about to head out to that. And again, thank you. More topics coming on part 3 and 4. This is part 2. So I got a 3, 4. I might have a 5. Oh, Lord, help me. So this topic can keep going on and on and on. All right, take care and have a good one. Thanks for joining me. You all have a great day and happy homeschooling. God bless you from Girlfriends' Guide to Homeschooling. Bye-bye for now.